entrepreneur. I'm going to call on Francis K, and she's got 5 minutes to tell us on the impact of Brexit. What does she think is going to be on entrepreneurs? It's going to be a tough time. Business rates very likely will go up higher. At the moment, our business rates are actually being monitored or under the auspices of the EU rules, whether you like it or not. Council tax has an indirect benefit. Please come, please come. It's okay, you want us to come, but yes, you're coming. Okay.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Francis K again, and I actually have the calabash here. I bet most of you have seen the calabash before, and this is a very good symbol in Africa. And every time we get the calabash out, it means peace, togetherness, and laughter. And a lot of us do laugh when the calabash is out for wine and palm wine in our African tradition. And we also use it for marriages in my country where I'm from, because I'm from Sierra Leone, and I'm actually a member of the diaspora in England, basically. And this calabash here was actually used once for marriage. And to me, it signifies freedom of expression, because every time the calabash is actually out, people talk. And today, we're all here talking about what we think BREXIT is all about. However, as an entrepreneur within the African community, I believe when we actually come out of the EU finally, we as Africans have to embrace ourselves. We have to take our culture, we have to go back to our root. Because most of us actually come abroad and we forget about where we came from. We forget about that root, what was installed in us, what our ancestors have planted in us. We actually come over here and we take the English style, the abroad style, I call it, the overseas life, we call it basically in Sierra Leone. We come over here and we forget that we use the calabash for marriages. We forget we use it for food. We forget we use it to drink palm wine and water. We forget we carry it to get water from the well. But we have to remember our culture and our root, where we came from. Because when we actually go out of the EU right now, a lot of us do our trade in Europe. A lot of us travel in and out of the other European country most of the time, and we depend on them to help us do whatever we're doing. But this is the time for us to embrace each other. This is the time for us to embrace our African circle. It doesn't mean because I'm from Sierra Leone, you're from Nigeria, our friend there is from Egypt, or our friend is from Zimbabwe, so we don't help each other. It doesn't mean because I live in America, I live in England, means we don't communicate. 90% of the time, we do intermarriages in Africa. And during our forefathers' days, we used to actually do petty trade, inter-countries. Like my grandfather used to go to Nigeria from Sierra Leone. That's the same way we do this European Union at the moment. But I remember when we had issues in Africa. I don't like talking about it because people say, when the Nigerians and the Ghanaians have problems, they went back to their country. And Nigerians were there. But yet still, we're all brothers. We're all sisters. We embrace each other. So when we come out of the EU now, this is our opportunity as Africans to support each other. Because most of the business we do is within our community. But what we do, we leave each other and support someone else. So we need to learn to embrace ourselves. So the calabash is out today to help us to remember our culture, to remember where we came from, to remember the roots where we were. It's very important for us now. That's all I have to say. Thank you.